Just recently I had a mom in my chair and she was telling me, my daughter doesn't drink juice, she doesn't eat sugars, I brush twice a day, I do everything right, I'm using toothpaste that mom's group recommend me online, it has xylitol, I'm doing everything right. So I listened to her, then we did exam, we took x-rays, and we had 4 cavities. Mom was about to cry. She was like, how? And I showed her x-rays. They were obvious cavities, already needed a treatment because girl was 4. Remember, first time you see kids at the age of 1. I started to talk to her. She did such a good job with oral hygiene, flossing, brushing, everything was right. But a couple of things I could have added to her regimen. Number 1, we did discuss that xylitol actually is out of guidelines. So American Academy of Pediatric Dentistry, I believe in 2017, removed xylitol from guidelines recommendations because back in 1970s, one of the northern countries, they discovered that if child or actual pregnant mother exposed to xylitol, they actually have lower the amount of plaque on the teeth, lowers the amount of bacteria causing cavities on the teeth. And it sounds so good. And I remember when I was in dental school in the early 2000s, the xylitol was it. We were chewing xylitol gums, everything was just a hype. As you know, some hypes go up and then they die out. So xylitol is one of them. Newer studies, which are more kind of measuring studies, how much xylitol you need to take, and end up being about 10 pieces of gum a day or even more to have some effect. So at that point, your xylitol levels are so high that it started to harm your gut bacteria and you have diarrhea. So technically, it actually changes biome of your gut, not in a good way. And actually you have asthmatic diarrhea. Child is actually having problems. Some benefits definitely there, but in order to have scientifically proven benefits, it has to be really, really high. I'm still recommending in between meals chewing xylitol here and there, but be mindful of the amount because too much is not good. But xylitol we don't recommend as the main ingredients in your toothpaste. In all the studies we look at, still kind of return to that fluoride. I know there's a lot of buzz about fluoride. Fluoride is good, fluoride is bad. It affects the brain and affects everything. But good studies still shows that fluoride brings that calcium to the tooth. That's what we want. The calcium in your saliva should be put back into matrix of the tooth. So I still recommend for kids with high risk of decay getting toothpaste with fluoride. And also new things, again, now a new hype. Remember, the xylitol was a hype in early 2000. Now we're in 2026. Now hydroxyapatite. It's a big kind of one of the studies came out and they're all showing very, very positive results. But again, it's a short-term study. So we have not seen the data, like long-term data like we have for fluoride. Hydroxyapatite, as long as we can prove it sticks to the tooth, because in mouse measures are high, but it does not mean that it actually remineralizes those teeth. So I'm actually doing experiment on myself. I'm using hydroxyapatite toothpaste. I like it so far. I think it's really good toothpaste. I think hydroxyapatite is a pretty good alternative. There is some pros and cons about nano element because nano is microscopic and there is potential it crosses blood-brain barrier, which we definitely don't want to go that way. So some pros and cons. Using the right amount, I would say back to toothpaste with fluoride for that particular girl we were talking about would be the right thing to do. So she's 4. So for 4-year-old who can sufficiently spit out, we would recommend pea size. If you have a young one and you know all your kids tend to get cavities, then I would recommend just a smear. Also, I want you guys to remember cavities, it's oral hygiene related, but also you have to look at the systems and overall child's health. And now there is some data shows that vitamin D levels are very important. Even though we live in a sunny state of Arizona, we are not exposed to sun as much as we want. So if your vitamin D levels are low during your childhood, it can transfer into lower, actually higher number of cavities. Vitamin D is all about absorption of calcium to your bones, actually to your teeth, and your children form teeth until they're about 12 years old. So it's still a lot of formation, a lot of calcification happening. So I would definitely, if you think you like flossing and brushing, you got rid of all the junk food, you like literally eating the healthiest you can and using the right toothpaste, but your kid's still getting cavities, I would look at vitamin D levels. So I want you to have kind of a comprehensive understanding where those cavities are. But if you're not really doing your job, brushing, flossing right, using right toothpaste, your kid is eating like every half an hour. We need 2 hours between food consumption because 2 hours it takes to remineralize your teeth and 2 hours for pH of the mouth to go from acidic from eating to normal. So you have to think systemically, you have to kind of look through everything. And also genetical predisposition, unfortunately, we do know that there is a genetical predisposition to cavities. And if you are one at risk, you have to do double work with everything else. And we understand. And also don't forget, you have to see your dentist every 6 months. We sometimes catch little things quick and then you get lost for 2 years. You come back and all my watches or little things which we thought, I mean, it's still gonna remineralize. Now it's a giant cavity and I have to sedate your kid and you don't like it. So think about it, help your kid out, share with me what experience did you have and what is your favorite toothpaste. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video.